What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing my 2021 year-end top 10s as we're going to finish up the 154-pound super welterweight division with my co-number one and current unified super welterweight champion of the world, Jermell Charlo of the United States. Charlo entered the year coming out, as the clear number one in the division and as the unified champ, as he holds the WBC, WBA, and IBF titles. But he wanted a premier opponent. And after Brian Castano defeated Patrick Teixeira in February, he locked up a showdown with Brian Castano because they're both PBC guys, and the undisputed title was at stake. So Jermell Charlo got thrown into the biggest fight of his career by far, as he was going to challenge the undefeated Brian Castano. And everybody was saying it's a fight that could go either way, but Charlo, being the bigger name and the unified champ, was the favorite coming in. And it started off very good. Castano had a good first round, but then Charlo caught him cold in the second round and hurt him and almost put him down. And then after that, though, Brian Castano seemed to close the distance, get into Charlo's chest, and just press the action and force the action. And I really thought he swept a lot of the middle rounds from the third round maybe to like the eighth round. I had him winning 7-5 heading in, or 7 round. I think I had him winning 7 rounds to 2 at some point. And then Charlo would hurt him again, I think in the 10th round, and Charlo would sweep the last 3 rounds. And from there it was like, okay, it's a close fight. I still had Castano winning a close decision, but when the judges came back with the scores, it was declared a draw. And you know what? It wasn't too much to argue about. Yeah, it was a little controversial because majority of people thought Castano outworked Charlo, but Charlo hurt him a couple times, and Charlo also, closed the distance in the last 3 rounds, closed the fight strong, so you really could go either way with it. But the judges came back with a draw. Now, the second half of the year, the last 4 or 5 months of the year, it was nothing but lobbying, trying to secure a fight, anybody to try to get a fight with the 2 champions. And actually all the governing bodies agreed to allow an undisputed title rematch, and now that's what Charlo's getting. Charlo in either March 12th or March 19th in his hometown of Houston, Texas, he is going to be taking on Brian Castano in a much anticipated rematch. I can't wait to see it. I really can't. Charlo's stats heading into this one are, he is, obviously he's a unified champion. He stays number one, so he stays in his position. He's 31 now, so he's still in his physical prime, but he's heading into the biggest fight of his career, and he's 34, 1-1, 18 knockouts. So he really has an opportunity here to close the door on this division and possibly move up in weight if he's victorious. But that's the big question. What is he going to do if he loses or wins this fight? That's the big question. So if he beats Brian Castano, I don't think there's any doubt he's moving to middleweight after that. Obviously we got to see what's going on with his brother Jermall, because that's going to open the door for him to fight for more titles if he's victorious. Jermall could be next in line for Canelo Alvarez in May. That might be a fight that happens in May. It's all up in the air right now with the Canelo situation. There's talks that Canelo can move up to cruiserweight. He's gotten a lot of backlash about that. And recently there's been talks that he could fight Jermell Charlo instead, inviting Charlo up to 168 to fight. If that is the case, then Charlo probably vacates his middleweight title, Jermell Charlo, and Jermell, his brother, moves up to 160 to challenge for the vacant belt there. That's one option. But, what happens if that doesn't take place? Does he still move up to middleweight? Does he stay at junior middle and defend the title a couple times as he awaits his brother to get the Canelo fight? What if he loses the fight at junior middle? I think if he loses, he's probably taking the rest of the year off and then bouncing back once the smoke clears from the middleweight division in 2023, to be honest. But we just got to wait and see. We got to wait and see what happens here. But Jermell Charlo has the opportunity to become a very rare, undisputed world champion in a weight class. Again, now he'd be the 8th man to accomplish that feat, as Canelo accomplished it, became the 7th. Jermell Charlo has a chance to throw his name in there with Canelo, Josh Taylor, Alexander Usyk, Terrence Crawford, what's his name, Jermaine Taylor, Bernard Hopkins. I think I'm leaving somebody out, but he has a golden opportunity here to unify all 4 belts and really make some history. And we're going to see if he can do that against Brian Castano in their rematch. Again, I'm favoring Castano because I thought he won the first fight. But with the way Charlo closed the fight and the way he hurt Castano a couple times, I really think it could go either way. So we'll see what happens. But that's it. That's my 2021 year-end top 10s as they continue. As this was my #1 super welterweight in the world right now at 154 pounds. The unified world champion, Jermell Charlo of the United States. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.